Tarps Off Sports.
What is going on, guys? We are back for another edition of Tarps Off MMA. Chris Mancuso here with Jack Gotzel and our man Terry Tam from Hot Sauce Sports out of Quebec, Canada. What is going on, Terry?
Everything go pretty good over here, my friend. We do it good.
Do that over there. What's going on,
We
buddy?
do that.
How's everybody doing?
We've been good, man. We've been good. It's been a while since I spoke to you guys, but I'm glad to be on.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I'm glad to have you now. UFC 265 goes down Saturday, live from Houston. It's going to be awesome in Texas, home of Derek Lewis, who's fighting for the heavyweight interim title versus Cyril Gane. Now, I want to ask you right off the hop, Terry. I know how Jack and I feel about the interim belt, but we haven't spoken with you in a while. What is your take on that fight being for an interim belt? Given the situation with Francis, it was the difference between fighting in August and September, and he took the extra month to bring the title back to Africa. Like, where's your stance on that?
It's so stupid. I find like the guy didn't even have a chance to celebrate the belt. You know, when you win the cup, the Stanley Cup, you can go over to your city and you bring the cup around and everybody sees it.
Yeah,
Nobody's like, oh, well, you can't do
that.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. You know, the season's about to start. Like, it doesn't happen in any other sport. Why are they taking this away from him? It makes no fucking sense. It's clearly for money. The UFC clearly just doesn't want to pay him for this next fight, and it's so stupid. The guy just gets the belt, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, now you're half the champion. You're not the full champion.
Well, yeah. Dana said he's driving fast cars and going on vacation, which is not at all what he did.
No, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can do whatever he wants. Did he strip Conor when Conor had both belts doing nothing? Conor never defended any of those belts. Did he strip Conor?
In DC, run it back 3 times and never gave out an interim bout.
It makes no sense. But he wanted to strip Stipe. Remember, he was like, I don't know.
How long did he hold on with Khabib? Like, it took him like 7 months of Khabib, like chasing Khabib, being like, please fight again. Please fight again.
He had the boombox outside the window.
Before he stopped. Yeah, dude, I think he was throwing rocks at Khabib's window up in Real Mountain, Dagestan. I think he was out there trying to get him to come back. And it's like, dude, Francis Ngannou is such a great story. He has, like, you know, everybody knows his, you know, dumped out, basically left in the desert to die, getting caught trying to make his way to Europe. He escaped. He had a dream. He wanted to be a boxing champion, ended up getting his way into MMA because he knew it would be easier to get fights. This guy, me and Jack got to stand right next to him, watch him train at Extreme Couture when we were in Vegas. He's just an absolute beast, and the way they're treating him is bullshit. Speaking of beasts, though, everybody knows I love me some black beast. Like Derek Lewis. I mean, I worry about the result. I'm not gonna lie. I think the betting odds are the betting odds for a reason. I think Gane is like, man, he's a problem for Francis. I think not that Francis can't beat him, but he's a problem. This guy, like, he's a problem for anybody now. But we all know Derek Lewis has that one thing, and that's that one shot knockout power. Are you guys he basically has to hit that one shot, right?
I'm all in money wise on Derek Lewis for this fight. I'm all in money wise on Derek Lewis by KO, and I can picture this being like a Volkov situation. Like in Gane, Gane, like, as good as he is, I love Gane. As soon as I saw him fight, probably like 4 fights ago, in his first fight in the UFC, I'm like, this guy's gonna be the next best thing. He's a good looking guy. He's big. He's super athletic. You can tell, and you could tell that the UFC is gonna push this guy. 9 fights in, he's already fighting for the interim title. You know what I mean? So you could tell they have something for this guy. And the thing with Lewis is that it's like he's like a baseball. It's like a baseball game for him. It's not over until the last pitch, and I think that's basically what we're gonna see. And I see a 3rd round KO by Lewis for real.
Well, the thing about Gane is that he is so athletic, like you mentioned, Terry, but also he's a different heavyweight than we've ever seen before, really. He's the new era of heavyweights. I think they're going to start being more like him, where he actually can win on points. Usually heavyweight fighters, it's who lands the bigger shots. They're not so much about the jab, stick, and move, and really, really point fight. But he does do that, and he's racked up wins that way. He also can finish you, and he's got a great chin, great power. Derek Lewis might have to land 2 of those shots if he wants to put him away. It's going to be very difficult. And like you said, Mancuso, it's going to be difficult for Francis Ngannou too, because he can stick and move. He's a lot quicker than both of those 2 guys. and his chin has looked very good.
He's much quicker than Derek Lewis.
No, he's quicker. He's quicker than Francis. Francis is quick,
not by much though. Like Francis
I think
is an absolute freak.
We could talk about it's two different things, right? Like I don't know if you guys were ever like NFL guys, like you look at the draft and stuff. Mike Mayock used to have this term called quicker than fast and faster than quick. So quick and fast are two different things. Ngannou has that quick explosiveness where Ngannou has like really fast kicks. He's a Muay Thai guy, right? So he's got those really fast kicks, and those can go to the body real quick. But Derek Lewis is such a resilient guy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I feel he's gonna take all of that.
Keep coming forward. He's gonna take it, and he's looking to hit you with a purpose. You saw what he did to Blades. I mean, just like you said, it just takes one punch from Derek Lewis. That boy is powered by hard work, determination, and his love of that fried chicken, man.
And Texas barbecue.
Texas barbecue, baby. And he's home. He's fighting in front of the home crowd. I know he's done it before. He actually lost in front of the home crowd. We want to see Derek Lewis get back in there and win. I'm with you, Terry. Let's do it. Let's get wild this weekend.
Did you see Derek Lewis's quote that if the heavyweight division lets him become the champion, a guy with no skill, they should all just pack up and move somewhere?
Yeah,
100%.
That's what makes him so fucking awesome. And like Terry's saying, the one thing that Derek Lewis has and is continued to carry him through in this division, including to a win, which was maybe the most boring win in UFC history, but it doesn't matter. He got the win over Francis Ngannou. Is the guy's resiliency, his heart is unmatched. Like Terry, you said it perfectly. The fight isn't over until the last pitch with Derek Lewis. He's been getting beat up for 3 rounds before, and in the last 30 seconds, who was that against? He knocked
Volkov.
Volkov, yeah.
Volkov
throwing a kick
versus JDS.
Yeah.
Yes, against
Volkov throwing a kick randomly with 10 seconds left in the fight, and then Derek Lewis just countering, catching the kick, and just fucking railing him right away. That was sick,
bro. It was so sick. But let's go through the rest of the card here. We have a bantamweight bout between Casey Kenny and Song Yadong. How about my dong, boys? We'll get into that later. But Song Yadong is 16-5-1-1. Taking on Kenny, who's 16-3-1. It's a little China versus the USA action here. I mean, listen, we all know what Kenny's capable of, but I mean, I don't know here. I'm thinking Song Yadong. Yeah, I think he's the better strike. I mean, I don't know. He's probably has more power. He has a better knockout percentage, right? I mean, this one's close for me.
Think about Song Yadong.
Closer than I think some people would say.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have this Song Yadong winning by decision, just because Casey Kenny. I think that he's at that level where he hasn't really figured out like where he stands in the division. Where Song Yadong, he's a BJJ guy. I think he's a black belt. He's a 6 striker. I think he's training out of Uriah Faber's camp. I think he's training out of Team Alpha Male. So he's really good. He lost his last fight to Kyler Phillips, who I'm super high on Kyler Phillips. I think he's going to be like a next big thing, maybe not a champ, but like a guy that we're going to enjoy watching for a long time. And he lost to him. And Song Yadong, he's that guy. You know, the UFC does this thing really, really well, where they market guys from different areas, and they're tip this guy where he's marketable. You know, he speaks both languages. Like, he's really clean, and I think he's a clean fighter. And I think that they're gonna push him a little bit. That's why he's on this main card. There's a lot of fights on the undercard that they could have put on, but they put him on for a reason. So I think he's gonna get a decision. Pick up his style points a little bit, and we will see him with maybe headline an event in the next couple events.
Yeah, and I believe that Casey Kenny actually trains with Kyler Phillips and Sean O'Malley.
Oh, there you go. He does. Well, he was on the podcast, right? He did that whole thing with Megan Anderson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where he said that stupid comment about Megan Anderson.
Yeah, they called her a 5 and said they did a bunch of heroin or something one time. And if you can't handle doing heroin one time, you're a pussy. I'm pretty sure is what O'Malley said. O'Malley's fucking nuts, that guy, man.
Yeah, don't knock it till you try it, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's so funny. So Song Yadong, the one thing I thought was interesting is like I like before fights now, like going into the metrics of these guys, right? Like taking their takedown accuracy, takedown defense, submission averages, things like that. So you got Song Yadong. I mean, his takedown accuracy is 75%, so he can always bring the fight down if he has to. And you were saying it's a black belt, right? So I'm giving the edge to Song Yadong, but I think it's a great fight.
I think it's gonna be a great fight. Yeah, I definitely think that. Casey Kenny wrestling ability, I'm sure he'll be able to stuff some of that too. But he's got good knockout power as well. I like Casey Kenny. I think he's a sick fighter, but I just don't see it happening against Song Yadong in terms of a decision. It's one of those fights where it's gonna be a good fight. We won't be wowed by it, but we'll be like, okay, these two guys clearly have talent, and it's gonna be kind of like it'll place them in where we want them, where the UFC wants them to be in terms of the rankings. It's just a good fight. It's a good clean fight.
Yeah, I don't think it's winning fight of the night, though.
No, I don't think so either.
Sure.
No, it's definitely at its rightful place. The first fight of the main card. I think that's fair. Now, moving on, we have the Tiny Tornado, Tika Torres taking on Angela Overkill Hill. This is a pretty good battle here. Number 10, Torres taking on the number 12 in Angela Hill. Obviously, Angela Hill has a better, listen, Torres is a decision fighter. Hill can win by the knockout a lot better than her for sure.
Tisha Torres' hands are so fast that she can piece you up in the stand up. She doesn't necessarily knock you out, but you're getting hit and you can't hit her while you're getting punched in the face.
No. And that's the thing. She's going to stick and move, right? Her average fight time inside the octagon is like 13 minutes and 32 seconds or some shit like that when I was looking earlier. Like she has long fights. She makes it a long night. And I like her beating Angela Hill by decision.
And she's not a boring fighter. It's never boring when you.
But Hill can knock her out. She has knockouts to her name. She can catch her. It's just I don't know if she can.
I like Tisha. I like Angela Hill in this fight. The reason why is that Tisha Torres, all of her success that came was at the beginning of her career. You saw who she beat. She beat Michelle Waters. She beat Beck Rollins. She even beat PVZ. You know what I mean? She beat big names, and but she's also lost. Like her last few, she changed weight classes. You know what I mean? So she lost Weili Zhang. All her losses come from big fights. Weili Zhang, Joanna, Jessica Andrade. So she's a really good fighter. And I see Angela Hill. Angela Hill beat Michelle Waterson to me. Like, I don't know if you remember that fight. That was a split decision. I had it clean, Angela Hill winning that fight, and I think a lot of people did. Angela Hill is a sick fighter, and I think she's going to end up KOing Tisha Torres in this fight.
I'm actually with you, Terry. Here, I have Angela Hill by knockout. She just seems so confident right now, and she's really getting into the world of MMA media too, which is nice to see. She was on the commentary team for Cage Warriors. I thought she stole the show away from Jens Pulver there. I thought she was the MVP of that commentary team. She's looking good. She's feeling confident. She's been posting all week. She seems really confident in this one. I like her in this one.
Yeah, man. Okay, I'm taking Tisha Torres still. I'm taking her by decision. I think she'll just do what she does. Welterweight bout next. Michael Chiesa taking on Vincent Luque. That is going to be a very, very good fight. That, like, Jack, you just took the words right from my mouth. This, if anything, is going to be fight of the night. The Silent Assassin taking on the Maverick here, guys. How do you see this one going, Jack?
Well, first of all, I don't know how this isn't the co-main event. I think Aldo and Munoz are a little bit past their prime. I think this is the people's co-main event. And I really don't know how I see this going. Luque has such massive power.
Yes.
He's a wicked underrated fighter. He's won 9 of his last 10 fights. His only loss was to Wonder Boy, who's an absolute world-class striker and is really tough to hit. But Chiesa, if he gets the fight to the ground, he can throw those legs quicker than anybody and get those hooks.
61% submission percentage for his wins. 61% of his wins, Chiesa, by submission. Like you said, Jack, he can, if he gets you down, he's probably going to end the fight.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think you would have to put a gun to my head to pick who I think is going to win this fight. I'm literally 50-50 on this, and I just think this is going to take home fight of the night. I'm just pumped to see it.
Well, the public has been picking Vicente Luque. He's at minus 122, and Chiesa is at minus. Plus 100. I'm going Chiesa on this one, and I don't think it's going to be
plus odds. I like that.
I don't think it's going to be that exciting of a fight. I really think that it's going to be exactly what we saw against Neil Magny. I think Chiesa is going to push him up against the cage. He's going to wrestle him to the ground. I don't know if he's going to be able to tap him out, but if this fight doesn't go the distance, it's going to be a submission by Chiesa. To Chris's point, the guy just has a sick rear naked choke and a sick guillotine. Like he's a sick wrestler too. So I'm going Keza on this one. He really impressed me against Neil Magny. He's put on a string of victories, especially since he's gone to welterweight. Lightweight, it wasn't his cup of tea, obviously, but since he's gone to welterweight, he's beaten RDA and he just beat Neil Magny, who I hold to a really high standard. Neil Magny, I think he's like that gatekeeper of that division. And I don't know. I'm going Keza. Luque, I like the style fighter he is. He's a tough guy. We saw what he did against Wonderboy. I mean, Wonderboy really pieced him up, but he really came to fight that fight. And he's a sick striker. But overall, I think Keza's just gonna bring him to the cage and just wrestle the shit out of him.
Hell yeah, man. I can see it going down like that. Now, Jack, going to the fake co-main event of the evening. Jose Aldo at bantamweight taking on Pedro Munoz. I believe that's how you say the last name, the young Punisher. Munoz. There you go. I'm not a great pronunciation guy. I'm not big in Canada.
I'm expecting a very sad night for longtime MMA fans and Jose Aldo fans. I think it's getting near that time where it could even be this fight where he leaves the gloves in the cage for the final time. Munoz still has it. I know that they're around the same age, but they're very different fighters at this point in their career. If this fight happened 5 years ago, I'm picking Aldo and not even thinking about it, but not anymore. I think Aldo has really hit that cliff, Athletes that they get to a point and they have that drastic drop off. I think we've seen that from Jose Aldo, and I unfortunately think he's getting knocked out in this fight.
So, I mean, Jose Aldo still has that knockout power. We saw what he did since he lost to Holloway, those two fights. He's able to knock out Stevens, able to knock out Moicano. Then he had 3 losses. Then he ended up winning decision against Chito Vera. So, I mean, Jose Aldo still has it there. But I just think people overlook Pedro Munoz and how good he is. I'm with you, Jack. I got Munoz by KO. I mean, we can't ignore what he's done. Like, going to decision against a tough fighter like Jimmy Rivera's last fight, you can't ignore that type of stuff. I think he's resilient. I think he's more in his prime right now than Jose Aldo is. And everybody always says it, man. Everybody always says the first thing to go is your chin. And I think Jose Aldo's chin is all the way back in Brazil. I don't think it's anywhere close going to be in that octagon.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys. I think we're 3 for 3 on that. I just think we're all kind of in agreement. Jose Aldo, what a career, what a story.
I hope he does something well. I hope he wins.
Hey, if he wins, man, he's right in that bantamweight. He's not in the title talk, but he's just outside. I mean, what is he ranked right now? Number 5. So
number 5. Yeah.
Well, the UFC did him a disservice from giving him the title shot when the belt was vacant.
Yeah,
and he had no right being in that title conversation versus Peter Yan. That definitely didn't help the longevity of Jose Aldo's career or really boost him in the popularity. I don't think Dana did him any favor by giving him that shot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I got to agree with that as well. So the main event of the evening, guys, I know Jack is going Gone. Me and Terry are going Derek Lewis. Whatever you guys are going, let us know in the chat. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. Quickly before we go, Terry, I heard you bring up Paige Van Zandt earlier. I saw that Bare Knuckle is doing a women's 125-pound, was it, Jack, or something like that? 125-pound tournament, and it's like Ostrovich, Pearl Gonzalez, Britton Hart, Taylor Starling. I don't know who else is in it, but Paige Van Zandt didn't even qualify for that in bare knuckle. So
how can she? And also, she's fighting girls that are way too big for her. She's really got to get down a bit.
Yeah,
Rachel Ostrovich is much bigger than her.
Yes,
is that
so is
really
the
only issue?
I mean, listen, there's a lot of issues there, but that's one of them. That's the key one. Yeah. I mean, listen, I love watching her fight, man. She's extremely entertaining, but we know what her avenue is going to be in the next couple months. I don't think she's going to be fighting for a long time.
No, I think we could be seeing the end of the road there. I mean, I know Bare Knuckle probably signed her to an X amount of fight contract, and it's big money, so they're going to have to get those fights out of her. But it is nice to see them do a tournament. And quickly here, well, let's get your predictions. Who's going to win that?
Pearl Gonzalez.
Man, she's cute too. I'm a big fan of her.
We met her at High Rollers, actually.
Really? Yeah,
she was very nice too.
Yeah, she looks
Jack,
like
wasn't she?
Yeah, she was actually incredibly nice.
Not that the female fighters weren't nice. It's just that female fighters are more into just like talking to people that actually look like crazy fighters. Where like Pro Gonzalez came up, she's like, "Hey guys, what's up?" Like was so nice to us. We were just like, "Yo, what's good?" Like,
good for her, man. She's good. She can market herself really well. I think that they did it really well. They got a bunch of girls that know how to fight and are pleasing to the eye. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think Pro Gonzalez is a nice favorite, but Britt, you can't go wrong with Britain Hart. She's a feeling. You know what I mean? So.
Not a person.
She's married to Joey Beltran now as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. Good
Yep,
for her. Congrats to them.
Yeah, her and the Executioner are married. Listen, that Taylor Starling, every time she's come into the bare knuckle squared circle, has went to one war, and then the last event laid like the worst beating I've ever seen in a fight.
Yeah, can I watch her versus like an actual opponent before I pick? Because she might be way better than I think she is.
Yeah, no, I think maybe she is. And that's why I'm kind of thinking if Taylor Starling goes, like, dude, she just went out there yelling, like, and just throwing bombs, like, and they were great shots too, like.
Yeah, like if she's
intense,
pieces up one of those three, like on the like Ostrovich, Britain Hart, or Pro Gonzalez in the first round, and like of the first round of the tournament, the first round of the fight, I reserve the right to change my pick to her.
Yeah,
asterisk.
Yeah, no, I'm taking her, man. Fuck it, I'm taking Starling in it.
Why not, man? It's a stacked division. I mean, I think it's gonna be nuts. We're gonna see fights. All the fights leading up to the finals is going to be unreal, man. These girls they put on such a show. Bare knuckle fighting, I'd rather watch the women than watch the men. It's like that's what it's come down to.
Me too. Yeah, I agree. I think
some of the guys, they have like crazy KO power, but it's all show. Like tattooed up to the neck, like it's all.
I like Johnny visual Bedford, though. He's so fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's good shit. He's coming up at the next event too, right? Yep. So that'll be nice to see. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I like that women's 125 division and bare knuckle. We'll see how that goes, guys. But make sure you hit the subscribe button. Terry, tell the people where they can find you.
Terry Tam, anywhere on Twitter, Hot Sauce Sports, everywhere else as well. Follow us everywhere, putting out good content on a weekly basis as usual.
Hell yeah. And we're Tarps Off Sports, tarpsoffsports.com, at Tarps Off Sports everywhere else. I'm Chris. He's Jack. He's Terry. We out.